The stream is about to start. Grab your favorite drink. Sit back and relax. You're chilling with Hex Asians. With your host, Crypto Vince, Uncle Kevin Hex, and Middle Class Working Man.
Hex Asians? Nice.
Konnichiwa! Konnichiwa! Emotional damage! Give me sushi!
Namaste, fellow Hexicans and Hex Asians. Welcome to another live stream with me, Dheeraj More. Sorry for the delay due to technical difficulties. My laptop has shut down. I did go to the repair shop earlier. It worked in the shop and it shut down again right before I was going to live stream. Any charts or displays, so it's okay. I will try and continue this live stream as if this is a podcast. Hopefully everything will be fine and I can get my message across. While I'm waiting for a few more people to join, I would like to know in chat what you guys are drinking. I was drinking some energy drink, Monster. Sorry, I can't show it to you, but it's caffeine. Caffeine. We need caffeine to keep up the energy because yeah, it is the only socially accepted drug that is freely available. And if you are watching this live stream on replay, I would suggest you to turn the speed to 2x. And with that, I will go to see the chat. Yes, I have our uh, regular listeners here, Ahmad Nabil and HOA, that is Hexonair. Uh, and I I missed Ahmad on the last stream, so I had to wish him a happy Ramadan. So that's one thing. And HO is saying he's working, drank some coffee, black without sugar, milk and sugar. Very good. That's well, that is how I used to like my coffee. Now I say I've changed my taste a bit. I, the saying like I like my coffee like I like my women, flat white. Joking. Yeah. And yes, of course, Marcavelli is here. Smash the likes, you broke plebs, he says. It's okay. I have given up on doing that, but I'm kind of happy I do get like 5-6 likes and 40-50 views. I have to admit, like maybe 10 or 20 of them are just me rechecking the chat to see if there are any positive or negative comments. But I will get to that. And on screen. Otherwise, I feel kind of awkward. But hey, it's okay. Just be in chat and listen. I want to talk about this thing called toxic flow. Now, I think I had talked about it previously when I had done a cover of Uniswap V4, which I still am kind of proud of. Like very few other Hexicon or Pulsecons have covered that topic, but toxic flow is actually a legacy finance term. I had to search for it, and it is basically when the retail investor, or means the orders which are placed by the market makers, causing the market makers to suffer a loss. Usually, when it comes to uh, dexes, especially the ones with where the price is equal to A into B is equal to C, or X into Y is equal to K, kind of. In that scenario, we call it as an impermanent loss, which I will cover a little bit in detail a little bit. But this toxic flow, uh, I think the best example of toxic flow we have seen a couple of years ago. I don't the what was that GameStop fiasco? That is the best example I can think of about toxic flow, where the market makers or hedge funds had placed their bets on the stock going down. Now, I do believe, even though it has been investigated uh, thoroughly, and it was found out that yes, it was only the short squeeze that happened was only due to the retail traders. But I still believe that there was some kind of insider trading involved, like somebody from the either from the exchange or the hedge fund came to know about the naked shorts or yeah, the naked shorts. That means there was more shorts on the market than there were stocks in the than the actual stocks available, which caused a trigger, and everybody wanted to get the hedge fund liquidated, which they could have succeeded if Robinhood hadn't turned off the trading. Mm, which again we have to point out, this is it. Well, it did protect the hedge fund. I forget the name of it. Citadel, I think it was Citadel Capital, which was saved, but it did also kind of save a lot of retail investor from investing or buying the top. So there was some good to it, and that is why there are these kind of checks and balances put into legacy finance, even with the S&P 500, or what is the Nifty? No, Nifty is in India, but there are circuit breakers where if there is too much how should I put it? Like if there is too much of a price action or the price movement is too erratic, they shut down the exchange, just so that the bots who are trading can reset their algorithms, uh, which, by the way, is a real case. And there was an instance in the past. I think it is called Black Thursday or something, where there were two bots trading against each other, and one bot placed a sell order. The other bot copied it, and the first bot again copied the second bot. So there was kind of this loop, and they ended up shorting the market by 15 to 20% before they decided to pull the plug. So these kind of things are available on the legacy market, but not on the DeFi or crypto. If we, and even though, yes, even though, not being able to shut down trades is sounds good and liberating, I think it would be a kind of a libertarian utopia. But yes, sometimes shutting things down or slowing things down does help the little guy. So yes, going back to toxic flow is what we saw in the uh, Pulsechain ecosystem just a few last week. I am still trying to um, figure out how much the losses were actually at to my portfolio, which but if you I see look, I guess it. I'm still trying to. No, I can't show any other tabs here, but uh, we were discussing something. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Uh, so what I was saying was when Richard Hart put out that tweet, and there was a sudden rush towards selling EHEX, which was kind of weird. I think we discussed it on the last stream as well. Well, he now I'm going to look at it from a semantic perspective, or like break down what he was saying, because what I've seen so far is all the influencers uh, or hexicans have been like pointing out the tweet and taking some part of it into context, or I think the term for it is twisting words, they are using the tweet to support their own point of view. So I will do the same. Like what he was saying was definitely regarding new capital on that is being deployed for Hex. He did not mention anything regarding the old capital that has been already locked on Ethereum in Hex. Uh, of and So there was really no real reason to be end staking all your Hex on Ethereum, which and selling it for EHEX, rather PHEX. Sorry, we are no longer supposed to use the term PHEX, it's hex. But yeah, did see a few people buying Pulse and Pulsex and ink with it, but a lot of people cashed out. Now I'm thinking like, yeah, if people had just sold it for Pulse or the four Richard Hart ecosystem tokens, then we would have just seen a change in the ratios, but the price would have still been equal, or rather stayed the same or even risen. But no, people cashed out. People in my mother tongue Marathi, there is this idiom called "पडत्या फळाची आज्ञा," which translates to the order of the falling fruit. Well, it kind of references the law of gravity, but the actual meaning of it is like, if, like, expecting something to happen, or um, making a promise to do something if something happens, and knowing that it will happen already, like, so the I am making like, it's like making a bet that if the apple falls down from the tree, I will be emergency end taking all my eggs. And of course, if by law of nature the right apple will fall from the tree, so your decisions were made prior to making the bet. So this is what I think has happened, which has led to see, I was checking the sorry, the liquidity on the hex pair, hex ex pair. Well, it jumped up quite a bit. The ratio at which it started was around, like, when it Pulsechain launched, the ratio was around 1.24 to e- 1.24 hex, or rather e hex per hex, which climbed up to around 2.5. And not very surprisingly, it had a kind of then again it fell down to 1.4, from 2.5 to 1.4. So, and that happened when the SEC flood occurred. So, saying that the market had decided, is kind of weird. Then again, it rose to around uh, 1.82, and it was kind of beginning to go down again, before, and that is when Richard Hart tweeted. So yeah, I'm not very happy with that. And I have to say that, when I look back, or rather, I've listened to so many people talking about this, and I have made this arbitrary division between hexicons. I'm And that is, first batch is the pre-hex launch, the real OGs, which I considered myself as one, like, who were able to um, join the adoption amplifier on day one. So those are the true OGs according to me. Then there are the ones who are pre big payday, because yeah, it lasted about a year. So the thing is, those who were able to buy hex in the first year or so are the only ones, I think, in profit. The third division would be pre sacrifice, Pulsion sacrifice, that is before the uh, I think it's June or July 21. So those who got in early into, I think most of the ones who bought Hex during that period were buying Hex to be able to sacrifice for Pulsechain, and I do believe it includes some big influencers. So that is the third division, and the fourth division would be uh, the Pulsechain launch. Uh, and I do believe some people bought Hex right before Pulsechain launch, so as to be able to ratio trade on Pulsechain. So that is, so depending on when you bought Hex, like the price performance has been quite different for everyone, because yeah, the OG Hexicans got a very good T-share rate. They were able to get big stakes in at low prices. If you were buying Hex after the Pulsechain sacrifice, oh my god, the price has been only down and to the right. Yeah, and for like, even when I look at my own portfolio in from the top, like the Hex top, I have seen two digits being wiped off from my portfolio. Like, that is not good in any way. Or like, yeah, when I think about it, it still hurts. And I think like there will be a lot of people who are in that category. They have seen their portfolio drop 90%. Yeah, so that blows out the whole store of value narrative out of the window, kind of. So then the second problem I saw was the OG Hexicans who bought early Hex. They have launched their own tokens, and not just meme coins, the tokens which were supposed to increase the value of Hex. What it has done is only divided the community even more. People, yeah, we had one Hex self-proclaimed shark who pumped and dumped a meme coin. Rather, he did it couple of times. Uh, to be exact, he started. First, he dumped Hedron, then he dumped PLSD, then he dumped Pulse Bitcoin. People losing money on these things are not good for the community, as or rather the whole ecosystem. Then there was a vampire attack, and I think we still have people. The vampire has declared he's going to start his own blockchain and give Hexicans an airdrop. Really, like, I don't know how does he still have followers or people still buy into his narrative. I am still like, God bless those souls. I hope, like, but if you look at his coins down and to the right, then there were recently one new protocols launched again. Now, I talked about this on the in the Hex conference earlier. Like I think the the only thing that increases the value of Hex is people buying Hex. Rest of the other things, it's kind of a what is called Rube Goldberg machines. Why do you and we have to be aware that each transaction on mm, any of the blockchains costs money or the local currency. So it, it why do you want to be paying more fees on it? Like just if you want the hex price to increase, you should be buying hex directly. Staking, etc., are relatively okay, but if you can't, it's still okay. Like just holding is even been like sorry, I'm going to look at chat a little bit. I see when I am kind of in a dismay because my laptop has shut down. I'm able to not able to concentrate, which is I think those who have been listening to me since past 3 or 4 years now are aware of my kind of speech and how the things are. Uh, so let me take a break. Let me see if I can play a small clip which will give me a break. Oh my god, I haven't. Oh, do you guys have any comments? Let me just be back. Let me take a short break. I will play my own tune just for self promotion. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Feel free to comment if you want something to be said in the special mic. So, I'm the man with the golden mic. Yes.
Oh, feedback.
Yes.
I love the feedback. That's awesome.
Oh, feedback.
I love the feedback. That's awesome.
I'm the man with the golden mic. Yes. I'm the man with the golden mic.
Like, this is not a game.
Yes.
Oh, feedback.
Feel free to comment if you want something to be special mic.
So everybody now needs to recalibrate their frame of thinking, because those are the facts. You want to be number one in anything, you better fucking act like it. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that matters. You're the one that's not a broke pleb. You're the one that's not invested in down 50%. Get your fucking shit right. It's not even a game. Like, I'm gonna keep lambasting whoever fucking doesn't get it, because I have nothing better to do than to demolish the fucking Furu game.
Yes. I'm the man with the golden mic.
There's only one. The rest of them are merely attempting to maybe get there one day.
I'm the man with the golden mic. Yes.
Oh, feedback.
I love the feedback. That's classic.
Thank you, Markable Thoughts, for their amazing video.
Oh, now you have to put that in too.
No, I have to edit that at the end.
Okay.
I will probably.
if I blew out your eardrums because you were using headphones, I'm sorry. Um, I'm, I'm still trying to collect all my thoughts. Ahmad Nabil is saying, I am also disappointed of what RH said about EHEX. My portfolio value EHEX drop a bit disappointed. Like, and the thing is, yes, we have the right to be disappointed. I see the whole thing is if the problem I had, I think I've been a bit toxic myself. Like, look, consider myself a toxic hex maximalist, self-proclaimed card carrying, whatever you call it. But see, the thing I did not like about it is the nar- Richard Hart tried to change the narrative after mm, see, like 9 months of everything happening and everything was going smoothly. And what if Hex had actually reached parity? And but the, if we, if wishes were horses, like that's the saying, as the saying goes. But now what I'm seeing is the influencers or so-called influencers are trying to change the narrative completely. Look, and there are things I hate about it, like calling ehex or hex on Ethereum as hex classic. Well, that worked for Ethereum as well as I think, because they were like hex on Ethereum is not different from hex on Pulsechain in terms of the smart contract. It's still the same, so it's not inferior technology in any form. Yes, rather, except for the price difference of transactions, i- everything on Ethereum and Pulsechain is the same. So I don't really like the Hex Classic narrative. Yeah, but whatever is tries to float your boat. And then there are people who are like, this is with regards to what I heard on the Discourse Syndicate last Saturday. Like, there are people trying to say that yes, we should put pulse chain on the spear tip. We should be promoting pulse chain and hex as a product on pulse chain. You see this we and if people want now, Pulse chain has become the home of meme coins, and if people want to be trading meme coins, we should invite them. It's like, dude, have you lost the plot completely? Like, w- we have been preaching to stop trading, stop falling for meme coins, like since a long time. Like, and I get it. Like, I've said this multiple times. If everyone promotes the token which they have the biggest bag of, that that applies to me. I have a lot of hex on both chains, so I promote hex on both chains. If something happens, some other token does a 10,000, 15,000x, then I may promote that token more than hex. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. That is why I stick to promoting hex. And this to me, I have always said this. I am like, mm, when I tell people, I would tell people to buy hex, get locked in. And if you are going to buy hex on either Ethereum or Pulsechain, you are going to need some Pulsechain. And if you are going to buy some Pulsechain, you will be needing to trade it. Then you are going to be using Pulsex. So why not get a share of Pulsex as well? So that way you are covering all three tokens, and if people are getting, I think that is like the sanest plan. But now people have, I don't know what to say, and then they want to be promoting hex to real financial investors or legacy finance. I know. What do you call your group? Degen Degenerates. You call yourself degenerates, and you are expecting legacy finance to join in, like the dichotomy of man, like crazy. But I think I have ranted enough. Uh, Marcavelli said, I got a lot more EHEX out of the deal, just patiently waiting on a bounce. Yes, I, I could have gotten a lot more if I had taken some action, but over the past week, I have done nothing. I've just held on. I even posted the EHEX Hex LP. The APR for the last week was around 200%. And if like, it's kind of difficult to show the exact, like the APR varies from individual to individual, depending on the price you got in. So for me, like, there was impermanent, I think there is some impermanent loss, but I still see my EHEX Hex LP position on Pulsex in profit. Plus, that trading did help burn a lot of Pulsex, so I'm more happy with that as well. Uh, I'm still thinking that is the best play for Hexicans who do have a lot. I have uh, EHEX staked, which will be coming out and will most likely be profitable to unstake. Mm, which so assuming you have stakes coming out on both chains, I would suggest, if you, yeah, unstake the hex on Ethereum, port it over or bridge it over to on Pulse chain, add liquidity to the EX hex pair. You won't be getting ink tokens, but it still has a decent APR for you. And plus, yeah, if you thicken the liquidity there, then it will be helpful for you to cash out, or maybe change over from hex to hex and stake hex. Or, there is, how, well, you can, like, I think, with, yes, then there is this uh, future expectation. Not Uh, that there will be pools on the Pulsex exchange, which we were kind of promised on testnet v4. Does it? I don't know if people still remember Pulsex on testnet. Like there were so many features which I was hoping we will see sometime soon that haven't been launched yet. Limit orders, pools. Does anybody remember the party token where you were able to stake Pulse, Pulsex, I guess, and you would be given a party token? We will. I'm hoping we'll be able to see that, and maybe some benevolent whale, or maybe uh, third party who wants to distribute their tokens may start a pool for EX. So let's see. That is something I'm looking for. Oh, let me. I missed some of the comments. Um, Ahmad is saying meme coins in Pulse chain. I expect it to happen, but I hope with it comes people who really find Pulse chain useful and build up the ecosystem. Look, meme coins, yeah, like I don't like shiny. I can do consider them shiny objects. Yeah, yeah, if it works, like I have seen so many of them come up and go down, never to go back up. Uh, I think other than the original Dogecoin, which kind of keeps fluctuating partly because Elon Musk steals it once in a while, still, which I find quite disgusting. But other than that, I think people lose interest. And just like memes, real, like, does anybody remember uh, the Derpina memes, or the I don't like I even can't recollect all those old memes, 2000 early 2000 memes. Derpina was one. Then there was the thinking Tyrannosaurus uh, kind of memes, and there was what. Uh, so basically, yeah, memes fade out to be replaced by new memes. Similarly, old jokes, they everybody gets tired of them, and that applies to meme coins. Uh, till the meme is in fashion, the price is doing okay. Once price drops, as well as the virality of the meme itself goes down, everything goes down with it. Oh, nice to see you top. Thanks for joining. Marcavelli has posted some um, uh, potato brain mind explosion. I don't exactly understand what you're trying to say, but I do think think you're saying that like your mind is blown, or what I'm saying is above potato IQ. Uh, but where was I? Yes, there are so many things. Like, why can't we find a single narrative? Like, why are people still not being able to get to a consensus. Yeah, and speaking of consensus, there is still like people who think that the ink token will be used for governance on Pulsechain, which I, yeah, or rather on Pulsex. Yeah, like I read the code. I think I had done the sharing. Like I had shown the code on stream as well. The thing is, Pulsex is kind of or the buyback and burn mechanism and the governance protocol is a fork of the master chef uh, smart contract, which pancake swap uses. But but the thing is, for pancake swap there is just one token for governance as well as incentivization, which is cake. So but on Pulsex there are two, which is Pulsex and incentive token. So which is a kind of a good thing. So Pulsex is going to be, in my opinion, either one can be used for governance, but in as far as I can understand and tell, that it is more likely that Pulsex will be used because it has a, it was supposed to be that, if I recollect correctly, Pulsex was going to be the one for used for our governance, and it does say that on the contract itself that the smart once the tokens are sufficiently decentralized, then we can have a, they can be used to set uh, the ownership can be of the smart contract can be relegated or disowned, and they can be used for governance. But maybe a year or two from now. So that is something. Again, we have to go with the caveat that no expectation from the work of others. So these features may or may not be available in the future. But even with that, like incentive token does not have a limit on its maximum tokens or maximum supply, whereas Pulsechain does. So, or rather, Pulsex does. So, it would make more sense to be using Pulsex tokens as governance tokens. And you know, I, while reading along, I did find something interesting. Even though we say there is no uh, maximum supply limit to any token, well, just by being an ERC token, there is always a maximum limit to how many tokens which can exist, and that number is 2 raised to 256 minus 1, which is a huge number. I so yes, theoretically there is a possibility that for the unlocked or minted will take more than 150 years, uh, which at some point of time we will see, like, when that thing. So this applies to hex as well. at some point of time we will reach that maximum limit. Then we will have to again for the like then we will have to think about having maybe a wrapper for the token, or you know uh, yeah, wrap tokens to divide them into smaller or a larger decimal. uh, but that is a problem far ahead in the future. Right now the problem we are facing is c- community needs to come together and think, oh, like try and push for the hex at least. And pulse chain and pulsex should be secondary in my opinion. Mainly, like, why I think Richard Hart has already mentioned it. Like, the blockchain is the dumb pipe. The value of the uh, or the real value lies in the products that use the dumb pipe. So, of course, Pulsex Inc. Hex should be getting more priority over Pulsechain. And but of course, if you are going to be buying those tokens on Pulsechain, you are going to be buying Pulsechain by default. So why can't we just focus on uh, promoting Hex by itself? Which, by the way, uh, again, shout out to Davin, sorry, not Davin, EcoBuilder or mailhex.xyz. He is the one sending out um, promotional material to promote Hex, which includes postcards, credit visiting cards. I guess uh, I still haven't bought it or requested for it myself because I'm still not like comfortable uh, doing outreach market outreach in real life. I plus, but I'm thinking of doing it for the Pulse Chain anniversary, which is coming up very soon. Uh, 2 years, sorry, 2 months from now. It's going to be right around the Bitcoin halving, so we may like, have a big kind of crypto cruise or meetup here in the Philippines. There is this. I am still thinking whether to have it on the Bitcoin island, Boracay, which would be appropriate. But the thing is, it's the travel costs and in general cost of living or visiting there are crazy. Like you'll be spending, which I don't like to do. There are cheaper and more like better experience as well as like environment wise better places you can visit on the same budget. So still something in the works. I have it. That is about it. So maybe I can summarize what I have said so far. Uh, um, yeah, toxic flow we discussed. Uh, it is the same thing as what happens with impermanent loss. We discussed that. we need community to have a consensus. I do have some expectations of upgrades on Pulsechain, and we have already seen some improvements on Ethereum. We discussed it already last week, but hey, did you guys notice the gas fees on Ethereum have come down a little bit? Like I think they were around 20 to 30 GWE last time I checked, uh, which is down like 50%, which I did kind of expect. Like I said, as more people start using, uh, even though the fork itself, or rather the hard fork that happened, Denkun, was for mainly for layer 2 solutions, people migrating to layer 2s has dec- uh, reduced the fees on Ethereum, which I hope to see much more. And this is like, again, this thing was proto sharding, so it was just for layer 2s. We are going to see actual sharding hopefully by the end of the year, which will apply to Ethereum, and hopefully it will reduce gas fees even further. But the reason why the fees have gone down, in my opinion, or what my observation is because it's cheaper to do transactions on layer 2s. The the arbitrage opportunities have kind of decreased, so there are fewer transactions in on out of layer 2s, which has caused the gas fees to decrease. Plus, but I hope it lasts longer, because the, we are going to see more L2s being launched, which will kind of again make it. I expect more L2s to be launched with some kind of variation, and it will cause the fees to go up again. That is why we have kind of migrated to a new layer 1. Uh, again, and one more thing I wanted to cover. Do you guys have anything you disagree with me regarding, or have, want my opinion on? Because I do tend to have some spicy opinions, which I tend to keep to myself, mainly because, yeah, sometimes I don't like I don't how should I predict how how much hurtful it can be. But the so we have 5 people watching this live. I hope you guys are uh, liking what you hear so far, because I did want to make a few jabs at some of the influencers, some which I like a lot, but sometimes they tend to say some stupid shit, um, and I have to point it out. But maybe one thing, the was but one thing was regarding the fluffy slipper guy. Uh, Again, he came out that he does not have any hex. He had a leveraged position on hex, e-hex. So yeah, that kind of explains why he's so um, butthurt. I would say, like ladies liquor leverage. But there was another guy. I don't follow him as much. Crypto face. Again, I know he was a day one Hexican or but again he's a trader and he was putting like he got liquidated on an exchange where he and according to him like the price fell down exactly to the price his liquidation price and went back up like Richard has been warning you guys. I have been warning you guys like if your uh, liquidation price is visible, there will be whales who will try to liquidate you. Uh, Ahmad is saying it's nice to hear from your point of view. It's okay to comment on others also because sometimes they talk shit. Yes, and look, the other influencer I wanted to talk about was Wales only. Like, yeah, I do like listening to this him a lot. But not always. He talks a lot about macro. Again, yeah, yes, if you are, it's good if you are a US citizen. But here, that all his knowledge does not apply here in the Philippines or even in India. So I rarely listen to him. But the other thing, uh, like yes, he talks a lot about um, finding the truth, knowing the truth, and then he goes on to believe everything that is being put out on TikTok and Twitter. Like yeah, like that is again kind of a dichotomy. Like no, the word would be double think, like holding two opposing ideas to be true at the same time. Like if it's either everything is propaganda on social media or you should believe things on social media. I am believe of the first variety. Like yeah, I everything that is on TikTok or Twitter, uh, Facebook. uh, I just think, yeah, it's everything is false for me unless proven otherwise. Which, by the way, we didn't discuss that TikTok ban that is supposedly going to happen. I find it funny. Like, if you want to ban TikTok, just do it. Like, why? Why all this? At least in India, they went through with it. And yes, there was a lot of crying about TikTok being banned in the early days because hey, there were a lot of you can say small influencers or especially people from rural India who were making decent amount of money on TikTok. But uh, Google as well as Facebook were losing a lot of money on advertisement. So yeah, like it's that's why TikTok was able to be banned. Otherwise, if it like if it were. like false information or propaganda was actually a threat from on TikTok. It's even more so when it comes to WhatsApp and other Facebook stuff. So uh, and what I'm seeing, like I the second time there was a trial with the TikTok CEO. Like my hats off to that guy. Like he has been facing like everything like a true Chad, but it's not good. Like like what you call the whole trial seemed like, of course, xenophobia and racism. Like you can see that exists, but I don't think of it as racism. It's just that China or like it is TikTok is the only app which is out of US control that is posing a threat to Facebook, Google, Twitter. So that is why they want to take control of it, and which is kind of ironic. People were saying like, yes, if China can ban Facebook and Google, why can't you uh, the US ban TikTok? So like, do I don't know if people know this. Like China didn't actually ban Facebook or Google. It just gave instructions that the same instructions that were given uh, mm, the same instructions that were given to TikTok. Like the government needs to know what data you are collecting, and the users data should be in the country where the users are. So China didn't want the Facebook servers to be in the US collecting Chinese citizen data, and Facebook and Google refused to comply with it. But when TikTok complied with the rules that the US put out, yet they are trying to ban the app. Oh, I see Finbear joining us. TikTok is the only app allowing voices critical about uh, y- y- you know where. Yes, it's the other. I think it's not. I don't think it's only TikTok. There is some bit of it on Twitter as well, not as much, but Twitter is owned by the Saudis. Yeah, Elon Musk is the front man, but the it was funded. If it was already owned by the Saudis, and while the buyout was there, like uh, Saudis did put up their fund. So again, that's why you see so much free speech on Twitter, and to there is there are voices critical voices on Twitter or X as well, but the thing is there is still shadow banning on X, and like there are, even if they don't shadow ban you, if you are a new account, your voice will rarely be promoted over the big accounts that already exist. TikTok, what it does is it gives, in my opinion, a bit of an equal opportunity for any users to be visible on random person's for you page. That thing term did not exist before TikTok, the for you page. uh, so yes, there are these things going on, which by the way, like, because of Twitter, I came across a documentary. Now it is supposed to be a neo-Nazi propaganda, or at least it has been labeled as neo-Nazi propaganda, and has been kind of deleted from most of the uh, places. But Google still shows up. If you Google it, it still shows up in the web archives. It's a 6 hour long documentary, the greatest story never told, regarding Adolf Hitler. And I kind of watched half of it, and I don't know like how much of it to take it to be true. But one thing I definitely don't like is calling the Nazi symbol as the swastika. Call it, I have said this multiple times, call it the Haken Cruz. You know, uh, and it is by definition a Catholic symbol. It is again part of West. I call it the Western propaganda to defame Hinduism. It's not. It's a Catholic symbol, and there are also like people I know for sure that are talking that Heinrich Himmler, who was the head of the SS, carried a copy of a leather bound copy of the Bhagavad Gita, which itself is kind of ironic. Like, if you are following Hinduism, especially the Bhagavad Gita, like, you can't be using leather material to wrap the Bhagavad Gita. And it has been factually, like, it has it there is no factual evidence that really occurred. It is again kind of propaganda being, or a rumor that has been being spread. And I heard it from Slavoj Žižek. He is a good philosopher, but I lost uh, respect for him when he started saying that he would prefer Pakistan over India sometime in his speech. And then I see these kind of things. Like, so again, you see, I am going on tangents, but it's okay. I will continue speaking. Finberry saying that is one of the things you never question, that state. One number also comes to mind. Yes, 6 million. The 6 million Bitcoin. I know what you are saying, like, but that is a different issue altogether. And where was I? I was talking about, yes, there is a bias in Western media regarding Hinduism and India in general. Like, and even in recent times, there are. Do you remember there was what you call report regarding the Adani group, which caused a huge market dump in India? Again, no evidence provided, allegations, and it's crazy, crazy. Where was I? I'm I am losing my mind. Oh, or I have lost my mind. But uh, is there anything I have forgotten to cover? Yeah, I think I've spoken enough. Maybe, hopefully, I will be able to uh, join you guys with a. Now, I already have a new laptop. I still don't um, trying to get things set up on that. So we will be seeing you next week. Hopefully, the quality of the stream will be better. Before that, let me see. Yeah, I wanted to again check the hex price because, of course, I am Hexican. The e hex price, which so it is up 2% in the past 24 hours. And yeah, the liquidity on the wrapped ETH and hex pool on Uniswap V2, like it's almost the same. Like last week when we checked, there were around 100 Ethereum. Now there are 94, and of course there is more EHEX. So that liquidity did not move. Plus, if you look at things like the BankX guys did not, the BankX guys did not sell. It was the OA did not sell. The true Hexicans who are having stakes on both chains did not sell. It was a few influencers, I guess, who had bought Hex just prior to Pulsechain, who market dumped. It's going to be who sold, and yeah, they may have changed, like EX going down, pulled down the prices of other tokens, but still, it's okay because the bull run is just starting, and we are also seeing the Bitcoiners, like I said, as the halving approaches, there will be a, a little bit of hype, but there is going to be a pullback. And so far, the Bitcoin price has pulled back as expected. So, and it is likely to go down a little bit more and pull down a entire crypto market with it. But the real top or the real bull market starts a few months after the Bitcoin halving. So we are still early in this bull cycle, I'm going to say. So don't get shaken out so early. Uh, my hands have been tied because my hex is staked. So I will be just watching and waiting and for the liquid tokens I have. I will not be doing anything with them. I am There is one protocol in which I am invested USD into, and it's kind of making money. Even though I last I checked, it gave me around 5% APR, but which is not good if you think about it. But there is no downside for the US dollar value. So yes, low risk, low reward, but reward nonetheless. So I'm thinking of moving those profit into uh, one of the four tokens or five tokens I like or in the Richard Harty ecosystem. I'm not going to say which one because hey, my from my experience, my orders get front run. Plus, uh, even though I say I am a toxic maximalist, I do own some other shit coins and not on Ethereum, other chains. And I looked at one of them like I've said this story. Uh, I may have repeated in this story a couple of times. Like, do you guys remember the $600 million hack that occurred in 2021? Where on the what was that? Uh, Poly market? No, there was this bridge that got hacked, and the white hacker stole funds, but he was communicating on Ethereum blockchain, messaging that he did not touch some shit coins because if he had withdrawn from them, the project would not have recovered, and so the hacker didn't even touch my shit coin. So that 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 is the level of degeneracy I have. No, Ahmed, it wasn't the Axie hack. It was Poly Network. Uh, I think it was called the Poly Network or not Polygon. It was a multi-chain bridge called. See, people have such short-term memories. People have, even I have forgotten. Let me see if I can. Uh, uh, yes, it was called the Poly Network, which is different from Polygon. So yeah, and I looked at that coin. Even that coin is up about 2.5x. So yeah, like my 50 $20 turned to $50 or $75. Not big, but still in profit. And I guess that is the real reason that there is so much bickering on Pulsechain as well as Pulse in Hex. Everybody saw other tokens pumping, and Hex wasn't doing much. Uh, like that is why maybe that there is so much crying. But like I said, in everybody's price point is different, and everybody's profits are different. These charts, you should be looking at your own portfolio for, regarding profit, not the chart. The charts are not representative of what is typical. So I think we will see a lot of, still there will be a lot of bickering still there will be a lot of hate towards the OGs because they got better share rates, uh, and maybe because they are still in profit. You know, like I said, from the top, I have seen two digits being wiped out of my portfolio. So do feel bad. Like I wish I had unstaked everything at 50 cents and sold everything. Maybe if I had bought a Lambo with that money, people would be following me more. Maybe I could have been able to launch my own token and or my own project and gain more from those followers that but I don't think I have the guts to do that. The Kyber swap hacker was more degen. Like how that was another story. But look at the past 4 years since Hex launched. So many hacks, so many uh, rug pulls, blockchains going down, like so many bad things happening. Hexicans have been sheltered from it because of staking, and that is what I want to promote. And hopefully, people will realize that that is the way to be promoting if you want to be gaining serious people into Hex. Uh, I think I've rambled on enough. I will join you guys to continue this conversation on the Hex Guild stream. We will be streaming on the Hex Guild channel on Wednesday. I hope I am able to join is till then. I will I have spoken enough. I will take a leave from you. See you guys next week. Till then, stay safe and good night.